Welcome to Tier Fun. I'm Andrew, your guide through Modern, and today we have something that's probably very bad, but I am excited for it at least. So I went to like a Halloween party this weekend, and everyone's having fun. It's a good time, as Halloween parties usually are. And for some reason, I got over in the corner by myself for some point later in the night, and I just sat there thinking I just kept thinking about that Meddling Mage win. I'm sure you guys might have seen it, but Meddling Mage on turn 2 beat Storm against like it was the 5-color Humans deck, and they just turn 2 Meddling Mage and Storm just scooped because they named Grape Shot game 1, and they didn't have an out to it. And I was like, what if I played Blood Moon and Spell Queller and Meddling Mage and Madcap Experiment? And it's like, first of all, this Vendilion Clique is extremely, extremely ambitious for me to cast in this deck. I keep an eye out for these matches because I very much doubt I'm going to be able to land Blood Moon and Vendilion Clique. We're running infinite fetches, very few basics. We're basically just hoping it works. I played a few practice matches, though far less than I usually do for a video that I record and a deck I end up recording with. First of all, it's pushing up late into Monday, and I wanted to get a video out. Second of all, I'm just excited for this deck, and I already had, sadly, in testing, I played, well, it was like a turn 3 Meddling Mage. I missed my first 2 land drops. I kept 1 lander with Meddling Mage, and I got there against Storm, and they conceded, and not only did they conceded the entire match. So it was a great feeling, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm onto something. These cards, Meddling Mage plus Blood Moon, actually does a very good job of locking out your opponent from casting anything that might interact with your Platinum Empyrean. So yeah, this looks like a pile of cards, kind of, and crap. And if you say that, fair enough, it kind of is. But there's some method to this madness, and Meddling Mage has actually some good synergies. As long as you know what your opponent's on, you can, game 1, protect your Platinum Empyrean, more than likely, thanks to Blood Moon and Meddling Mage, from being removed. So that should just be has the potential to be it's at minimum, a harder lock than it was in the other deck. And then game 2, this is just, you get to play the shell game like, well, I'll name Lightning Bolt because I think you have a path, and so they have to path that, so their Lightning Bolts are unlocked, and then you can play your Platinum Empyrean. I think this is strong. This is a strong thing right now to be doing, and I think Meddling Mage is really good right now. I'm not sure about this mana, and yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be regretting a lot of my choices in life. But I think this is going to be a very fun video, at least. I really want to run Engineered Explosives, but this is kind of a nombo with Engineered Explosives in the sideboard. At least if I'm keeping the Madcap in. And I think for every matchup I didn't think about everything too in depth, but I think for every matchup that I wanted Engineered for, I also wanted to keep the Madcap. But yeah, if you watched the last Madcap Moon video, Blood Moon plus Madcap Experiment is a good way to win in Modern, and this might be bananas. Honestly, Path doesn't seem all that good either, right? Because we're letting them get basics to get out from under Blood Moon. But Path solves a ton of just the original Blue-Red Madcap problems, which is resolved threats. And I think with the combination of Spell Queller and Path to Exile, it's going to be okay to give them basics. I could be very wrong. You could be on the precipice of witnessing complete and utter failure. But I, for one, am very, very not a league. Definitely not a league with this deck. I'm very excited, and I think Jeskai feels bad, man. Yeah, that's what I called it. I think this deck has potential. This is a sneak behind my testing process. This is like probably, I don't know. This is like Mark 1 actually of the deck. Usually you guys end up seeing Mark 3 or 4. Like I'll throw something I'll either play someone else's deck for a little bit and tweak it to my liking, or I'll play my own decks that I haven't run them through the rigorous testing that you would before, like trying to win a GP or something, but tested enough to make sure they're functional decks and they do what I think they do. because I'm kind of jamming two different deck ideas together, I know this is going to do what I think it does. I just don't know how good that is. So that's where we're at right now. So, yeah, if you hadn't seen the original, the main game plan for a deck like this, the blue-red version or the Jeskai version, is to basically muck up your opponent's game with all of these cards. Peek is actually a spicy combo with Meddling Mage, so you can just peek in their hand and name what they got. So, anyways, muck up the game with this so that Madcap Experiment, naming getting Platinum Empyrean, wins the game. And I've had a few times where I've had to click myself in the previous deck to put Platinum Empyrean on the bottom. I kind of wanted Sea Beyond because double blue is actually really hard in this deck. But I also think that the body on click is important enough that since I'm already pressed for cards, I think click is worth the risk. I could be very wrong, and we're going to find out. It could be that I want a Johnny main deck, maybe shave some paths. But anyways, we got 2-3 lands. All right. So we're very weak to our own Blood Moon here, but we don't have to cast it. So we're going to keep this, though. Hopefully this is Storm. Ooh, okay, so we're playing against the Humans deck. So I kind of want Blood Moon here. Champion. We're probably going to path that, not this turn, but next. Which feels bad. I was also on Opt. This is the one change I made between like my first two matches and this one, is that, ooh, click is... All their cards are pretty redundant. I don't think we need click here or this Scholar card. But I went Serum Visions over Opt because this deck doesn't play too much at instant speed. It does. It does play at instant speed. But it's not as reliant on it. We don't have Spell Snares or anything, really. The only thing we'd really want... We could opt into Removal or Spell Queller. Or Snapcaster, but I think just the raw card selection power of Serum Visions is where we want to be. So here, I'm going to play Flooded Strand because we can fetch planes here. We could have just jammed Meddling Mage there, but I want to name Path because that's, I think, the only card they have to interact with are... Ooh, what's this? So yeah, let's remand this. We're still getting a planes. We're getting hit for 3, but that's okay. Opponent probably thinks we're just on blue-white control. They are in for a treat. We're on... Ooh, okay. We did it. All right, so they've got a clock of 3 for the rest of the game. I don't think they can cast anything else as is. We can path, but we're only going to path to save our Keister because that unlocks... That's the bit of the Nombo I was talking about earlier. So yeah, we don't even have to have Meddling Mage name path here because we've just shut them off. I still might do it. But yeah, this is one of the reasons I think Blood Moon's great right now because a lot of people are playing this deck. And I think Meddling Mage is great because if they're not playing this deck, a lot of people are playing Storm, at least in my experience, as you guys well know. Storm and what is that other deck? You know, it's good against Living End and also Ad Nauseam. Two decks I've been building I've had problems with. All right, so this is not ideal currently, but I think we're gonna. Well, we could just snap Serum Visions. No, we can't actually. Okay, so I think we're just gonna run out Snapcaster. Just to block this champion and buy us some more time. Because I don't think they can play anything else. Yeah, they just... That's the power of Blood Moon. They have 3 power. They have 3 power. We have nothing. We have 2 basic lands, basically. And, like, our hand isn't all that great, right? But they just conceded because they realized unless they drop planes... Oh, they double conceded! Oh. So, yeah, Blood Moon's extraordinarily effective against that deck. So that's one of the reasons I really want to play Blood Moon. Also, got a little close to the mic. Sorry if I just yelled in your ears. I'm going to try to be more cognizant of that. So yeah, play Blood Moon, you get free wins. Even in a freaking janky... Look at this mana base. This mana base is horrendous. Look at that. But yeah, if you can just cast Blood Moon on turn 3, you're gonna steal wins sometimes. All right. I don't think it's the same person. But anyways, like, you can kind of see the game plan coming together there. Blood Moon locks you out. Meddling Mage for... Ooh, okay. Now we're doing it. So here we're not going to... We might draw Blood Moon, so I might change my plans. But this is definitely fetching basic island or planes. This is probably fetching Steam Vents. We'll see. We'll see what they play. All right. So this looks like... Could be a whole lot of things. So I'm not fetching. That's another thing I've noticed in this deck. Because, okay, that is definitely... One of these planes an island, right? Okay. So this one will get a red source. There's been a lot of times, even when I have 2 lands in hand, that I wait on fetching. I've waited on fetching way longer on this deck than I have in any other deck I've played in Modern, just because the mana is rough. Green. Shaper Sanctuary? Oh no! Let's see if they fetch anything else. So I really don't want a Lightning Bolt, whatever this is. But I will. Elves, interesting. So no, I'm gonna save this bolt for something more important. This is a good card, excuse me, and a card that enables a lot of their deck. But I think they're just stone cold to this Madcap experiment. So what do I want to name here? Because I'm definitely playing this. I think I want to name Heritage Druid. That enables a lot of their broken stuff. So then they can't play Heritage Druid. And the other card I'm afraid of is obviously their 3 mana plays, which they could have next turn. But I think I'm more afraid of Heritage Druid at this juncture. Three mana plays being Elvish Archdruid, which I was thinking about naming, and Azuri. So they're very good. I think we just bolt this next turn. But sure, it lets them draw a card, but it cuts them off of a lot. Cuts them out of a ton of mana. Well, maybe we just hold up Queller because they're most likely to play Collected Company. I could serve here, and if they block, that means they have Heritage Druid. No, but I think ideally I don't want to fetch because if we draw that 4th land, I'm pretty sure we just win. They have what is that elf? Ooh, Growing Rights. So this means they can get in for what is this? So this is that Cradle land. So what do they need? 4 or more creatures. So here's the rub. I think what we do is just bolt this. Well, they get the mana for it anyways. So I think we let it resolve. Could be famous last words, but I don't think we're too worried about that right now. They only have 1 card in hand. So it could draw them a creature. It will draw them a creature card. Heritage Druid. All right, well. Completely unpunished. So they tried to cast Heritage Druid right there. They could not. Let's see if they attack with the Archdruid. They do not. Okay. So we just let this happen. I really just want to draw the 4th land here. We don't even need to bolt this. We know they have Heritage Druid and something that doesn't cost 3 mana in hand. Could be Coco. But we just need a land here. We don't need to bolt. Blood Moon is about the deadest draw we could get. So next turn, what we're gonna do? Actually, we're gonna bolt them now. No, I guess we're not, because I'm assuming they have Coco in hand. That's the only card they could have besides the land, and the land is non-threatening. So I did want to. That was the one thing that I almost did. I almost cut Vendilion Clique for another land just to make the mana a little better. And I kept it in because it was powerful in a situation like this with Platinum Imperium. So they don't even have a green spell they can cast. This is awesome. So here I am going to click myself. Perfect Blood Moon mana too. Blood Moon is obviously coming out against Elves. I could also click away Blood Moon, but Empyrean is uncastable. They're both about as bad. I guess it cuts off Growing Rights. Yep. Bolt, not exactly what I'm looking for. So they can play Coco here, but I'm not, like I said, I'm not too concerned. Looks like they don't have it, because they definitely, I would have slammed it there if I was them. Just attack in. So a collected company into the Artifact Destruction Elf is pretty bad. But I think just they have to have it. Let's get another island. We could probably win with the cards we have, but I think this just puts a good old-fashioned clock down. And it lets our opponent know that we give no fucks. We are Madcap Meddling Mage, and we are here to kick ass and chew bubblegum, but we are all out of gum. So I'm assuming they're Cocoing here. I don't know. I think they would have Cocoed on their turn with us tapped out. And because of their access to that elf, that 3-mana elf that kills artifacts or enchantments, and I cannot remember its name right for the life of me. We might want to board out the wow, so they do have Coco. Oh, it's Cord, even worse. So they're cording for that elf. Whee. Yeah, I think because they have Cord and they're not wrecked by Blood Moon, we need to take this out. But it's not the worst there. Maybe it was, because we could hold up Queller for the rest of the game, really. So let's see if they have it. They might not have it main deck. They don't. Wow. Okay, well I think we just win then. Usually when they run Cord, I think a lot of Elves players do it. So what is this? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so we can't. That's pretty good. But I think Queller gets everything but Cord. So I think we're just cracking in the sky. We also have Bolt, Snap, Bolt, and Double Bolt. So yeah, I think we're pretty good here. So we're definitely going to zig while they're zagging, because they're going to bring an Artifact Hate if they lose to this. Growing Rights, you got him, man. I think this is a great Growing Rights deck, obviously. I mean, right? This is probably the only deck, outside of maybe a Tokens deck. But Tokens decks can't really... Well, they could Secure the Wastes. Maybe we'll see some Secure the Wastes Growing Rights. We're bolting. Yeah, Platinum Empyrean. It doesn't always win you the game, but it does. It almost always gains you a life. It does everything a blue-red deck kind of like this wants. And that is gum up the game, stall the game, do something. It lets you do something powerful in turn 4, which is, I think, very important in this format. It changes the entire game, really. It becomes a shell game of can the opponent deal with an Empyrean rather than can the opponent win the game. And a lot of the times, especially game 1, they can't. So we're just going to... Well, yeah, we're just going to bolt in response. I could Snapcaster Bolt, but they might have some shenanigans. They might want a collected company, but yeah. This won the game. Platinum Empyrean. And now we're going to side it out. Because I don't really want to board in my negates and dispels. I do want to board in my sweepers, though. We could also bring in Timelies. Yeah, let's bring in Lightning Helix. I want more Helixes, but I just don't think... It was like Helix or Path. Helix might end up swarming its way. It's also Helix or Queller. This is kind of my last ditch effort to try to run Queller in Modern. Excuse me, kind of burpy right now. 100,000 apologies. Many apologies from me. I think Peak is pretty medium. I kind of know what I'm afraid with this deck. I've got a decent to a lot of experience playing against Elves, actually. So whenever I make a boneheaded play against Elves, make extra fun of me, because my brother plays Elves, and I've played against Elves more often than I care to admit, like a whole lot. Like I can't even. Remand seems horrendous too, right? It's good against their collected companies and nonsense, but it's not all that great. Maybe we want to keep in Timely and Vendilion Click. The thing is, a deck like this, Blood Moon's real bad. Maybe, okay, so because we want to sideboard out Blood Moon, I want to keep this in. And which means we're going to go down on Remands. Is Timely better than Remand? The thing is, we really want to be proactive, not reactive. So I think even Click is better than Remand. This is a 3-mana removal spell, at least. Queller is pretty underwhelming too. We're just kind of... This is more of like a value plan than the thing we're really sticking to. Most of Modern cares about Blood Moon. This deck doesn't. I was going to say weak, but like weak isn't. Not every deck is weak to it, but a lot of decks, it's annoying. It's annoying against, I would say, 99% of Modern, even if it's not phenomenal. We're going to keep this hand. It's got a sweeper, which is everything I ever want in this matchup. And we have 3 spot removals. Like, sure, this is a mulligan, but like, we get to bolt that turn 1. That's awesome. And we drew another bolt. I don't think we're losing this one. Reasons we lose this game. We don't draw another land, or we don't draw a way to close the game. Because eventually they will be able to play out of our... maybe I should have given them Heritage Druid. That's a little bit of a punt. This Pyroclasm now is not quite as good. That's okay. We're going to learn from our lessons. So that, for those keeping score, that's Elf Punt, probably number 1. Elf Punt 0.5. It really depends on your philosophy of dealing with Elves. Heritage Druid needs to die, though. So Nettle Sentinel is pretty close to the top, too. Another play I really like to make, okay, they're not going to do it, is bolting the Elf when that 2-mana Elf guy that craps out another Elf, 1/1 Elf token is on board. Just feels great. Oh, okay. So I think I want to play this. What am I more afraid of? On this board state, I'm more afraid of... Ooh, crap. You got to know its name to counter it. Oh, God. This is where I wish I was streaming. All right, let's take a tiny pause. I just had it played against me. God. Stream brain is real, and it affects me greatly. Because I really want to cast it. Oh my God. Are you serious? This Elves deck doesn't have it? Elves. Modern Elves. God. Please don't unsub. I forgot what this elf was called. And I need to name it for Meddling Man. Archdruid. Oh my God. I was like, Elvish, Elvi. Now, I could also get the 2-for-1 here, which isn't bad. But I think we're just naming Archdruid. So they need to play a removal spell if they've got it. Sorry, opponent. I usually quicker. So this stops them from playing the card that threatens me the most. If they want to just Coco, we have a decent answer to it as long as they don't get 2 lords. So they're running fetches, which means Blood Moon is better than I thought. So there's some argument to leaving them in next game. We'll see. Growing Rights. Blah. So I think next turn, if we don't draw anything of note, what do they reveal? They didn't reveal anything? Wow, that's bad. If we don't draw anything of note, I'm just going to Helix this and crack in for 2. You do have to present a clock against Elves. This Elves deck is selling out a little bit, selling out of its speed for some explosion later on. So I want to not get to that later on, if at all possible. Oh, that's a good one. Let's see if they attack. I don't think they will. Ooh, okay. Frisky Elf is frisky, so we're going to get a Scheme Fence here. So the downside of playing this is that I really don't want to sweep. Wow, this hand is bazonkers. We're just a Snapcaster away from bolting our opponent back to the Stone Age. Look at this. Look at all this interaction. So basically this Pyroclasm is going to end up being post a Chord or a Collected Company, just because of how it works out. Oh, hang on a sec. And we're back. Sorry, I just realized it was getting real dark. That happens a couple of times when I'm really into the game. So they do not attack, which means they have perhaps a Chord, or a Collected Company, I mean. They could have Chord as well, but wowzers. Okay. So here, I think, because my hand is bananas good, I'm okay with trading these 2 Elves for this Meddling Mage. If they block with both, it cuts them off of a land, which is great. 2 Elves, which means this Growing Rights is getting harder and harder. And they have to do it in the main phase, which means if they want to cast Chord or Collected Company, they need to do it right now. Which means I get to Pyroclasm. Okay, so they're Chording. For 2. I don't think there's a... I think they're getting that 2/2 elf that craps out an elf. Yeah, Dwinnen's Elite. That's the name of that card. Note to self. Card's name is Dwinnen's Elite. So here... So next turn they could have at most 4 mana. Yeah, I'm good waiting. I'm okay taking 3. We don't want to get much lower, but we can. I'm thinking they have Archdruid, yeah, because they blocked like that. Which means they're more than likely going to attack me for 5. Ouch. But I get Value Town from this, which is good. Because your life total is a resource. Red. Well, hang on. Let's give them the illusion that I dug into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, okay. Keranos is great. And I think I actually want to keep it on top, as crazy as that sounds. Boom goes the dynamite. Where are your elves? Did you have elves? I don't know. I blinked and they were gone, dude. Shaper Sanctuary. Baloney. Now this is all really bad. That's... Look at this. Look at this. They get to draw 5 cards because of my hand. Alright. So obviously... I topped that lightning bolt too. Okay, so we want both of those. So here we're going to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so I'm going to bolt the face for this first one. I'm not worried. Here we get to find out if card draw is better than spot removal, because we have spot removal, but it's going to give them card draw. Oh! Okay. So we can get them to 6. Ooh. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is a May effect, right? Yeah. Wizards plant giving cards that aren't without any teeth. So here I would love to just jam a whatchamacallit, but I'm not going to. Madcap Experiment. We're not fetching either because A, we don't have to, and B, it's pointless because we want that land on top. We want this Karanos. I'm going to bolt them twice unless they play something scary. Well, 3. I think we do have to bolt these guys. So we're just going to bolt 1. They get to draw 2 cards, which is insane now. Fetching to thin. So I think now they're probably going to play something because they just drew 2 cards, but if it's just a Land of War Elves, I can survive this game with Karanos. I don't want to bolt Land of War Elves. Jeez Louise. Alright, so I'm taking 2. I'm going down to 4. Whew. Okay, heart of the cards here. Really could use a Madcap Experiment. So I'm going down to 1. If they have a Lord, we're dead. But if they didn't have a Lord, these Shaper Sanctuaries are just going to run away with the game. So I think, thinking about this game now that I'm in this position, what I should have done is use my spot removal on everything I saw. Because I have so much of it. I only had 1 Pyroclasm. Now, they ended up not having a Lord, so maybe this is going to be okay. Do they really have air? Wow, they do. Madcap Experiment, yes! So we could 1, 2, 3, 4. We can get rid of 2 of their guys. I think we're just dead if they can deal with our Platinum Imperion. That's okay. You gotta know what you're dead to. You need to tap. You also need to tap your mana appropriately, or Magic Online, or your opponent will not allow you to cast your spells. Okay. No Reclamation Sage 1 time. But yeah, like, it's okay if they draw cards as long as we have a card that cleans up the board. Don't tap 2 more. Oh, no, that's game. Okay. All right. So besides that one thing, I'm very okay with how that game went. Maybe I do want a Timely as well. Over Click, perhaps. They're kind of functionally similar, except one gains me life. I really don't want to run Tears. I think that's too small. If we had just drawn a Snapcaster, we could have rid their board. I'm not too worried. Oof, man. This hand, right? Like everything we'd ever want, except for a second land. All right, how do we want to lose this game? I don't think it's like this. If this is on the draw, I think there's merit to keeping it. On the play, I think there's also small merit to keeping this. If this is a Serum Visions, I keep it, but it's a peak. And it's great with Meddling Mage, but it's not great with the rest of my hand. Okay. This is a much better hand. Ooh, almost clicked on Mulligan. That would have been LOL. Yeah, we want... Well, I don't think we want that. Anger's going to clean up the board on turn 3, or Timely if we need to. I think we're just looking for more proactive interaction. I really love playing against Elves. or creature decks in general. Elves is nice though, because it puts you to the test, but it's kind of it fairly puts you to the test. Okay, so I do want to fetch. I guess I'll just get an island. That's fine. Okay, well that's sticking in the hand. I do want both of these. Wow, I should not have got island. That's massive bad. Okay, let's undo. We don't want this Queller or this Path then, because this anger is not good. Because I am a dum extraordinaire. Put it on. Put it right here. Stamp. Dum extraordinaire. I can't believe I did that. That's so bad. Land. Helix at least. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Yeah, I think we're alright with that. Elvish Archdruid is great. The must-kill threats. Archdruid is probably the third on the list. Visionary is great, but it's not a must-kill threat because its value comes from being cast. Archdruid, Azuri, and Heritage Druid. And then probably you want to get rid of the... Okay, so we're just firing... Well, yeah, let's cut them. They missed a mana, a land drop, so let's cut them off that. It's really effectively a 2-for-1 because I really only count Visionaries as half of a card. At that, it's good to get. It's always when you're playing against any deck that has like Merfolk or Elves, like a single word describing their creature type that they play in the title of their deck. It's always good to get rid of cards with the creature type Elf or Merfolk. I think we just Snapcaster Helix here. Their best play were these two. We can't really do much else. We could Timely here, but that's bad, right? So yeah, let's Snapcaster Serum Visions. We could have maybe caught this thing in combat if we had Opt, which, you know... Oh, come on, deck. We do want Opt. We're not in the bad position, thanks to that Helix. We do have time. And we're able to get this. We should be able to fire off this Madcap. Opponent's really selling out for these Shaper Sanctuaries. Sure. Which I don't blame them. Like, they're really good against this land. Fudge Muffins. I think we're free to attack here, right? Well, no, because then they get in for 4. Then we play Timely. Timely isn't that good though. Well, hang on. Yeah, I am going to attack because then we can ambush the Archdruid in combat if it comes in, which they're not going to block here. And if they're savvy, they will not attack, and then this will be a bluff that does not end up happening. But, I mean, to me, if I'm an Elf player, this is screaming Spell Queller or Snapcaster Mage. Or I have nothing. And if I have nothing, there's no reason to attack anyways, because you're just endangering your guys. So yeah, smart Elf player. He smelt out what I was... He smelt what I was dealing. He smelt it, and I dealt it. So we're just going to take 2 here. If we draw land, I'm actually just... Well, we'll see. Land, please God. Please... Oh, it's not... So I think we're attacking again. Well, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. But if I'd drawn a land, I would have thought very hard on snapping back Pyroclasm over all of our options. The longer we go without madcapping, the more likely it is we are to draw this. But it is 1 in 44 right now. So the odds aren't phenomenal. All right, this is another reason not to. For 4. God, I have no idea what elf costs 4. Lissalana? Lissalana's really good here. Oh, just another Archdruid? That's fun. Dwyn's Elite, not the biggest deal. So, well, there goes my plan. I was assuming they're attacking it with everything, and I was going to bolt one of their Archdruids. So what is this? Cord? Cord for infinite? Oh man, are they running... Ooh, Mistcutter Hydra? That's pretty good. Yep, resolves. We do not have a way to block that. Oh, it has haste too. Ugh. Alright, so we just 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so we have to chump here and just hope we draw. Who runs Mistcutter Hydra? What a mensch. We gotta draw land here or we're dead. Come on. Oh. Alright, are we dead? 1, 2, 3. 3, yeah, we are. Mother flipper! This should be red! Alright, well played, Elves. I did misplay. Unfortunate. So yeah, the mana bit us that game, but it didn't really bite us per se. It bit me for playing like a dingus. And you know, play like a dingus, get rewarded like a dingus. That's what Mama always says. So don't play like a dingus is the moral of that story. Let's try to get a deck. So thinking about it, I think Click is still fine. The only double-colored spell we can reliably cast, I believe, especially considering Blood Moon. Without Blood Moon, we can cast anything. The mana's great, but Blood Moon puts a strain. Is our red spells, and I don't. Maybe we do want P and Kieran. Maybe we want a Johnny Bennett. Maybe we want Kieran in this main deck. Over Click. Or no. Oh, ding dong. I was gonna say maybe we want Nahiri, but Nahiri's discard, not draw. So often I've thought of how good or how bad you'd have to make Brainstorm in order to make it modern legal. I think if it was like a 1-mana instant, draw 1 card, put 1 card back on top of your library, or maybe it's draw 3, put 2 cards back, something like that. I don't know how good it is, how good you have to make it. But I think if it was even draw 1, put 1 card back, I would play it, and I'd definitely play it in this deck. Just with all these fetches and everything, it would be really good. Shianimo, welcome to Jeskai Feels Bad Man. Hopefully you will be the one feeling bad and not me. It's actually Shanimo? Shanimo? Shanimo. Shanimo. Unpronounceable for me. Pronounceable for you, probably. Shainimo? Shainimo? Nemo? Shainimo? Shainimo. That sounds almost like a name. I don't know. I'm sure people flub over my name too, even though it seems easy to me. Especially because Magic is a multicultural game. That's one of the great things about Magic Online is that you can play against anyone from around the world, and it's, I don't know, it strikes me as cool that I can play against someone from like any walk of life, any country really at any time. It's the uniting force that is Magic the Gathering. But I would like to unite Shainimo into this game to decide if they want to play first or not. That would be cool. Little do they know, we are recording a video for perhaps 100 people to watch. I'm deciding, I'm thinking in my head if I want to do like a costume for the actual Halloween, like a costume stream. I might, maybe I'll play something themed something, I don't know. If only orange was a color, you could play an orange and black deck. Maybe, what makes orange? No, that's more pink. I was like, Jeskai's kind of orange, but no, not really. But yeah, maybe I'll try to do something fun for All Hallows Eve. Mother flipper, the mana is so bad. Okay. I really wish our first opponent didn't concede out of the game entirely, because that was a matchup I really wanted to explore. But yeah, we're mulliganing. And we're keeping. These are our 3 lock pieces. I don't see how anyone can win when we have all 3 of these cards. Heck yeah, I want that on top. So we're going to fetch an island. Leyline. This is not target opponent, right? So this is probably the red-white. Oh, Mistveil Plains. It could just be the white Lotus Bloom. Interesting. I wonder if... Well, we'll see. The fact that they're running Mistveil Plains makes me think they're not running Ad Nauseam. It can't be Ad Nauseam, right? We're still getting Island, though. Bottom both. This is going to get a Plains, and this will be our red source, and then we're just going to hope to lock them out with Old Bloody. Alright, so this is some sort of white enchantments deck. I'm not casting Meddling Mage here. I'm going to hold open Remand, actually. Lotus Bloom comes off next turn. Yeah, unfortunate. I'm not going to fetch because I know the bottom 2 cards are Hallowed Fountains. We don't want either one of them. So here we're going to shock and then pass the turn. Sacrilege, I know, but my goal is mana screwing. I can't let this Lotus Bloom resolve. I'm tempted to just remand it. I think that's what I'm going to do. Plays around Mana Tithe if this person is insane like me. So they're exiling it again, but we're going to Spell Quell it on the way back. Hope you're not relying on that. So now things line up pretty well for us. They're on 2 reds, which maybe that unlocks their hand, but I think they're on some sort of white enchantment prison deck. That's my read. They could be on red-white, and if so, I may have just made the worst mistake of my Magic playing career. And if so, I'm glad to get it on camera because it's probably going to be hilarious. But I think they're mono-white, so I think I just cut them off. We're casting Madcap here. Do something powerful and modern, always. Rules to live by. Next turn, we're spell quelling this Lotus Bloom, and I think that's going to be GG. The downside of being such a badass and winning a game so badassedly is that we don't really know what they're on. Ooh, they have to discard that. Dovescape. Okay, so this is Enchantment Prison. I think we're going to be alright against that deck. So I think naming... What is that epic spell? Spell quell it. Boo boo bah. GG, well played. But yeah, they want to resolve, I think, whatever that proclamation is. I think that's the epic spell. But anyways, there's a card that costs an ass ton of mana that basically, as long as it says you don't get to cast spells for the rest of the game, but you get to like search your library for enchantment cards. So I think that's what they're trying to do. I think we're leaving in all of these cards. I think they're all good. We could bring in Stony Silence, but I think the only artifact they have... Well, maybe we do want to bring in the Enchantment Hate. Maybe not, though. Man, it would be really helpful if I could remember any of the cards in Modern, because that's kind of... It's like a prerequisite for Meddling Mage. but I'm struggling. I'm struggling today. Hope you guys forgive me. Magic's hard. It's harder when your brain's not working all that well, but we gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta grind through it. Lightning Bolt's probably pretty bad. I think Path is actually worse than Bolt, though, because they might not have their Enchantment du jour. I don't think they're running too many creatures. So if I'm sideboarding out Path, I think I'm bringing in a Johnny Karanos. We're just going to sideboard into bigger and better things. I think Negate's all right. Yeah, this is all right. Honestly, if I'm not even 100% what they're playing, I don't think this is ideal if it's the deck I'm thinking it is. And I think it is, but we probably do want this enchantment hate. I don't think we want Blood Moons. I think we just got lucky there. But I'm going to keep him in. There's a chance this person is running something different to what I'm used to. Oh, sorry for the dogs if you can hear them. Woof, 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 Doge. And if they're running something different from what I'm used to, I want to, like, because this was effective game 1. There's a very good chance it's not effective game 2, but we'll see. I thought I clicked on keep, but we'll click again. We'll do that. We'll do the moto dance. So Blood Moon gets this. Let's see how they scry. They bottomed. Huzzah. I'd really like to see... So these are going to get basics, so I'm just going to play this tapped. Opponent has no idea. No, they do have a very good idea about our insanity. What is this? She didn't lose life. Quest counter. Oh! 4 or more quest counters. Okay. So we're going to have to start attacking in with Snapcaster Mage, but... Nah, we're going to do that this turn. I really don't want them to get quest counters. That sounds bad. Planes. The deck is unlocked. Each spell costs. Okay. So we're going to get Island here, and this is going to get a Plains, and then we're going to play Blood Moon next turn. Oh, fudge! So I wanted to cast any of my spells that I could have. Ooh. Do we need 2 Plainses? I think not. So instead, let us give them another... Well, this is still going to be a red source regardless, right? Unless we want to hold off on casting Blood Moon. But I don't think we do. Cuts them off of double white. We're going to be able to cast our good friend Snapcaster Mage. Defense Grid. Okay. So Snapcaster, I can't cast it through double Defense Grid, so we're just going to do it like this. If they path it, we get to do an island, and then hopefully they don't have double path. And if they path it, that's one less path for our win con. So we literally cannot cast a single spell next turn thanks to Defense Grid, so I think we're just going to Serum Visions here. Madcap, that's great. Bottom. Remand, we're also going to bottom. So they could be sandbagging a path, but that's okay. We have more Madcaps. Unlife is good for them. Unfortunately for them, we have Lightning Bolts, which we will be casting. So 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We don't have enough mana yet. So, well, hang on. Let's, we're not going to be able to counter anything ever, so we're going to, I swear to God I was holding control. Okay. Well, I was holding control there, whether you believe me or not. I wanted to remand my own Lightning Bolt just to get another draw, and I'd be able to cast it next turn. All right, looks like we win though. So yeah, this deck is actually pretty strong against a lot of the decks I've been playing. But the power of Platinum Empyreon... Okay, so here we're going to Bolt. Holding control the whole time. Remand our Bolt. Just to draw a card. Hoping to draw another Bolt, really. Oh, we're in the end step. Dang it. Alright. So we get to win next turn at least. I mean, we would have won anyways, but they have to path on their turn. Okay, we end up winning. All right. So yeah, that was. I thought it was in my second main step. That was my bad. But yeah, like the beauty and the glory of running Madcap Experiment is that it's at a great spot on the curve. It doesn't really take up many slots in your deck, like casting something on 4. It's not Splinter Twin. And it's not even the Kiki Jiki combo deck, but it gets to play on a similar axis, which is basically like, it turns the game into a shell game. Like Splinter Twin turned the game into, can you deal with my Exarchs? Or can you beat me before I can combo? Like, we don't necessarily have a beat me before you can combo, but against some decks, this is better than Splinter Twin. Like Burn. Burn, it's game 1. Game 1, I mean, you're probably winning with Splinter Twin anyways if you get a decent draw. But Madcap is just as good, if not better. Because really what you were relying, like you need 3 burn spells to get rid of an Empyreon main deck. And you only needed 2 burn spells to stop Splinter Twin. But, you know, you're likely to have Remand or something else up and turn your comboing. So it's kind of like neither here nor there. Not as good as Splinter Twin. That's really what I'm getting at. We're gonna play another one because that first game was kind of weak, and that last game we just locked them out so hard that they never even got to play their deck. But like I was saying, that deck plays what is that epic spell? Let's look it up since we're waiting right now. Whoop. My phone is being real laggy. But their goal is like Enchantment Prison. They want to control the game, be it through... Oh, there it is. Enduring Ideal. That's the card. I'm Dollars to Donuts. Bing. Dollars to Donuts. That is the card they were running there. It's a 7-mana sorcery, which has the ability of Epic. For the rest of the game, you can't play spells, and at the beginning of each upkeep, you copy the spell, except for its Epic ability. The spell reads, search your library for an enchantment card and put it onto the battlefield. So basically, as long as you don't even have to necessarily resolve it, right? Maybe you do. I don't know. I haven't played the deck. But as long as you get this 7-mana spell, which, you know, that's saying a lot, to resolve, they have the enchantments in the deck to lock someone completely out of the game. I think they run that dragon enchantment that makes like 8/8 dragons. Like, let's try to look that up. Well, no, we're never going to be able to. All right, so let's we'll be the first one in the queues for this last one. I really want to play against Storm. I know you guys have seen enough Storm. I've played against enough Storm, but this deck is phenomenal against Storm, especially game 1. So I hope Victorti 15 is playing the classic Storm deck. Okay, so yeah, this is a good hand. It's a mulligan to 6. Maybe it's worse than a mulligan to 6 because it has a card we cannot cast. But the rest of the hand is great. That's not an island. Ooh, okay, we got a burn matchup. So I don't think this deck is unbeatable against burn. The Platinum Empyreon. This is actually, you know what? This is probably Goblins. Ooh, drew a land too. Kind of want to draw Lightning Bolt. I think we're good just Serum Visionsing. We can stack a land on top if we see one. We do not. Turn 2. Yeah, so we're going to top both of these actually. Madcap, I think, essentially reads win the game at this point. Oh, crap, I have to discard. Well, the jig's up. I think there's some merit to discarding one of our lands, but I don't think there's anything they could really do with the knowledge that we're running Platinum Imperion. Yeah, it's Gobos. So we're going to fetch a mountain. Oh, we don't have a mountain because our mana base is horrendous. So... I guess we're just going to shock here because it's essentially the same thing. Well... Actually, I like naming Goblin Grenade here. Because that's the card that's going to win the game for them before turn 4. So is this a Lightning Bolt? I'm not going to name Lightning Bolt, but I might now that they've tapped their mana. So they're either going to... Okay, they're not. So if they didn't untap, or I mean, if they did untap, I would name Lightning Bolt. And if they're a genius, they would have got me to name Lightning Bolt there. Goblin Grenade. I could name the Lord too, but I'm not too worried about the Lord. I trade with any of these goblins next turn anyways. I just want them to not cast this card, Goblin Grenade. If they have another Lightning Bolt, that just saves us... That saves us a turn, basically. It saves us 3 damage. Okay. So now they can't even attack with Rummaging Goblin. I'll see what I reveal, but I think we're okay blocking here. Maybe not, though. Path to Exile. Oh, yeah, I knew that was there. So let's just take 2. This is holding back the rest of the team. Bolt, Remand. Okay, we're going to keep it like this. So we can Bolt Path or Remand next turn. We just need to resolve this Madcap. So they're going to be able to attack in with Mog War Marshal. Let's see how they tap. Goblins players are... I shouldn't say this as like, in general. The Goblins players are very aggressive, want the game over early, and they don't always wait till their second main phase to tap their mana. That is a broad overstatement, and I've played against some Goblins players who have severely outplayed me. So don't take that as me saying Goblins players aren't good at Magic or don't play optimally. That's me saying that sometimes they play a little antsy. So here they could still have the 2 mana. Let's see what we draw. Path to Exile. So here we're going to just bolt and take 1. I think that's the line. I think they would have played Bolt if they had it. I'm just going to get a tapped land because I'm going to have to shock. Oh, no, I don't. Okay, so I think the game is well in hand at this point. Like, this card, these combinations of card, Madcap and Platinum Imperion, solves so many of the problems I've been trying to solve in these color combinations, just single-handedly. Like, Goblins is actually kind of rough, game 1, even with 8 1-for-1 removal spells. Yeah, this just wins the game. Like, this is not to be, like, sure, it's way easier to interact with Path, a whole lot of things, deal with Platinum Imperion, but it needs to be dealt with. And there's a whole lot of power there, and it just wins the game. It wins the game if you can't deal with it. We're obviously getting rid of these Blood Moons faster than I can count. Johnny's good. Pyroclasm's good. Anger's good. We're just going to sideboard like we did for that other game. Remand is medium as well. So we're sideboarding like we did for Elves, except I think we're going to keep in all this stuff. We're going to get rid of Vendilion Click, though. Yeah. If we can 1-for-1 them or 2-for-1 them, we're going to win the game. But they have explosive draws. If you haven't played against Goblins, this is a deck not to be underestimated. It is very, it can be very, very powerful. Oh, we got the combo. We got Peak plus Meddling Mage. Let's sort these in a way that doesn't hurt my brain. Okay. So we're going to Peak, turn 1. On their draw step. So let's hit a stop now. Well, maybe we won't. Loyalist. Annoying if we plan on blocking, but we plan on comboing. Okay. I'm going to hold open the ability to either bolt or opt. It really just depends on what they play. I think the only card I really want to bolt is not that card. So, in response, let's get an island. See if they have it in hand. So Bushwhacker, Bushwhacker, Bolt. Goblin, Bushwhacker, Boink, Reckless Bushwhacker, and Lightning Bolt. Okay, so they're planning to whack me next turn. But I suppose they did have a land too, right? And it's not a reveal to look at. So we are a turn off of Lightning Helix because of my Painless fetching. So they have to cast the Lightning Bolt in order to... Well, maybe they don't, actually. So we can Meddling Mage... Say we Meddling Mage Bushwhacker, they Lightning Bolt and then Bushwhack. So maybe we name a Bushwhacker, take... They're still going to be able to Bushwhack. So that's 2, 4, 6. Take 6. So I think the line is Bushwhacker, it's Glacial Fortress, naming Bushwhacker, or naming Lightning Bolt. Yeah, let's name Lightning Bolt and we can block. Well, doesn't it get First Strike and Trample? Yeah, so we're not going to block. So we do need to interact with something this turn. First Strike and Trample. They don't get +1, right? They will from Bushwhacker, though. So I think we're just going to name Lightning Bolt. Or Goblin Bushwhacker. I don't really know. We're going to be able to get rid of Legion Loyalist next turn. Yeah, let's name Lightning Bolt. So they have a land, so they can just play the Goblin Bushwhacker, not the Reckless Bushwhacker. So they don't pay the Echo cost, obviously. So we're going to get hit for a ton this turn. But next turn, we're going to be able to Quell. I think Queller's the line, because that does the same... Oh, what? So they just played Pile Driver. Interesting. So I think if they just played... So they're trying to conserve their Bushwhackers, which is fair. So now we just get to... I think we're okay. Like, we can play this painlessly, but if we lead with this Tarn, we have the option of quelling or helixing depending on what they do, and they didn't do what we thought last turn. So maybe what they're just trying to do, I think they're just trying to set up a big pile driver, which means I probably want to helix that. This is close, though. These turns have all been very important. That's why I've been kind of taking more time than usual. Any slip up here Okay, so here, Surge is upon cast, I believe. So we're going to get hit for a bunch. So it's 1, 2, we're going to get hit for 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think that's okay, though. Well, actually 14, but then we're going to gain 3, so we'll be just taking 11. All right, so here I could also quell. Say I quell, then this guy gets in for an ass ton of damage. I think we're just going to let this big attack happen and hopefully be able to recover next turn with Lightning Bolt and Path to Exile. So this is 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So it's going to be tight. Especially because we have to do it like this. And because they all have First Strike and Trample, we can't block profitably. Drawing another Helix is our literal best card. That is not it. So here we're going to play the Island and pass. Bolt. Why can't I cast this bolt? Oh my god. How many times am I going to do this? Okay, so now we can only quell. This is a bit of a whoopsie daisy. So they get First Strike and Trample, but none of them can attack profitably. The card they have in hand is Lightning Bolt, but I think we're still dead because we can block here, and then we take 1, 2, 3. So yeah, we're dead. I was, oh, I'm sure you guys are yelling at me. I was really planning on playing that Lightning Bolt. Okay. So maybe Meddling Mage is Meddling Medium here. Remand seems okay, not phenomenal. And if we're not running Meddling Mage, we might as well not run Peak. And we'll bring back and click. So yeah, my entire game plan was based off of being able to cast both those cards, but even then, I think I was just dead. So that being said, no, I think that's still an okay keep. I was thinking maybe it was a mulligan, but we had the tools to get to turn 4, and that's all we really need. Because this card is going to end the game. I guess is Remand better than Meddling Mage? No, I don't think it is. Let's get it out. We're back in. We're back on it. They're both equally as effective against something like Goblin Grenade, which I think is what I should name in the future. Sure, this hand looks great. They kept 7-2, so it's going to be a good old-fashioned romp fest. Okay, so here, I think we want to just lead on path, which means let's just get an island here. Yeah, because we're gonna want to cast multiple paths this game. We could Serum Visions. We're looking for like a sweeper here from our Serum Visions. That card's all right. I don't think we're gonna want to. I think we're just going to. Well, Yeah, let's get it. It's not one of the must path targets, but I think just being efficient with our turns. Because we didn't Serum Visions, like, this is one of the ones I wasn't too excited to path, but I was pretty set on pathing. Otherwise, I would have got the island and Serum Visions. This thing does add up, and we don't have a... If we're not pathing it on turn 1, we shouldn't path it on turn 2. Ugh, gross. So... I think we just shock here. Bottom the land, top the mage. We would love it if this ramp that we gave them led them to cast a 3-drop that we can also path. But if they cast a 2-drop and a 1-drop, that's the danger zone. What did I put on top? Snapcaster Mage. Don't care about that. Oh, if it lets them cast 3 1-drops. Yowzers. So I think I'm actually just going to path that Loyalist, right? Yeah. Because I know what I'm drawing next turn. Suppose I could path the Goblin Guide, but I'm more afraid of the Loyalist's ability in the long game. Because we do want this Queller to be good. And if they don't have First Strike and Trample, then the Queller will be good. So I'm actually going to lead on this Mesa to get a Plains. Just try to be as painless as possible. If they play something pre-combat, I'm going to Queller. Otherwise, I'm going to Snapcaster, get them. Yeah, this is fine. I'm going to Snap Path that. They might be playing the Lord here, Goblin Chieftain, which gives everything haste and +1/+1, if memory serves. So, because I know I'm tapping this mana, I want to fetch now. Because if it's a land, I'm not going to want to fetch Spellqueller. Okay, good. So Snapcaster is going to block Goblin, and then Path is going to get the Pile Driver. And then they have 2 cards in hand, and we have 2 Spellquellers, so we can put this in tapped, and I think we're good. If they have the... Okay, they don't. If they had the Lord, it would have been interesting. It would have been an interesting debate over what I wanted to path. But I think Pile Driver is too good. So now they're left with a 1/1 that I can blank with this Queller. Well, I shouldn't auto-yield because I have this Queller. So they could have just lands, and if in that case we're walking on easy street. Bushwhacker, don't care. This card, whatever it is, we're quelling it. Now they can't attack, and we just need a Madcap Experiment at this point. Wow. Goblin, going balls to the wall. Gotta respect it. Oh yeah, that feels good. Lightning Helix. Just a good magic card. So, even though we only have Spellqueller, Lightning Helix, and a Mulligan, essentially, I feel like this is very much wrapped up. Oh, this is great. This is literally everything I've dreamed of in my life. There's nothing I love more in life than remanding or spell quelling a Goblin Grenade. Whew. Whew. Oh, yes. Game over. All right. So, Jeskai feels bad, man. I think we had most of our opponents feel bad, and that was really the goal, right? Changes I would make. I still think this Vanillion Click is a bit greedy, and I might just want to land over it. Sure, that means we don't have a way to get rid of an Empyrean if we draw it. But the odds of drawing an Empyrean are very low, even with fetching and Serum Visioning. It's 2 cards out of 60. Even if it's like 2 cards out of 30, let's say, I'm still okay with those odds. I want Click, and I might end up keeping it. Maybe I just cut Peak for a land. That might end up being what I do. I think Visions, while I love Opt with all my heart, I think Visions is what this deck wants, because scrying an Empyrean to the bottom, scrying away a Blood Moon. I think if we are going to stay on 21 lands, we definitely need 4 Visions. If we go to 22, we might switch over to Opt. But I think I like it as is. The sideboard was okay. I don't think I want to change up much. I might end up testing one more land minus a Peak, maybe. Because I think with Meddling Mage, most of the time you know what you're going to name anyways. Like, you know what you're naming against Storm. You know what you're naming against all the tier decks. The part where Peak comes in handy is when sideboard games, maybe they bring in some hate. Or even pre-board, like, sure, naming Grape Shot might be awesome, but perhaps maybe they've got like 3 of something in hand, and Meddling Mage would be phenomenal there. Even then, like, I think that's probably named Grape Shot, to be honest. But yeah. The other card I'm questionable on is Spell Queller, and also Path a little bit, because Path plus Blood Moon, all the things I talked about in the beginning, are things I'm looking at when I test. It didn't come up in this testing session or in the previous 2 games I played, but it's still a non-bow I'm on the lookout for. But I think this deck, despite potentially bad mana and despite some non-bows, this Blood Moon and Madcap will take you there. Of all the blue-red combo decks I've been playing, or even the blue-red value decks I've been playing, I think this is the best one. Maybe not necessarily this Jeskai Feels Bad Man, but Madcap Experiment and Platinum Empyrean. I think that's where you want to be right now. Could be wrong, and I'm very open to debate or discussion about it. But I think Meddling Mage is cute, and I think it's also good. I do think it's also good, provided you can remember your opponent's deck, or you know your opponent's deck. So these 2 cards shore up some of the weaknesses, and I'm happy to have them. Long story short. We're going to be testing this more, but yeah, I hope you enjoyed the spiciness as much as I did, and I'll see you guys around for the next video. As always, it was a pleasure playing Magic for you guys. Thank you for coming, and have a good day. 2 thumbs up to this deck. This is good. Bang, bang, boom, pew. Da-da-da.